Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the City Skylines series. Today, I'm going to be starting off with a quick time-lapse of something I did off camera and ended up taking like half an hour to complete. So I figured instead of making that an entire episode, because it wouldn't be too interesting to watch, I decided to just turn it into a time-lapse. So if you remember, I created like a cargo hub in the last episode that kind of had like one train line that was connected to the main national network, and then I haven't done the second one yet, but that one's just going to be an intercity one. So I decided I wanted to turn that into a bit of a train yard for all the cargo to be stored and whatever, and I wanted to give it some beautification, if that's the correct term. So that is just what the start of this video is, so please enjoy, and the time-lapse should take about 6 minutes, so if you want to skip ahead to the good stuff, then jump forward to about the 6-minute mark, and I will speak to you again then. Welcome back. As you can see, I've gone through and finished it now, and I'm really actually proud of the result. I think this area in particular looks really nice. I like the little, I'm trying to put more detail into this series. So you may have seen me put in the lights for when it gets to night time. I've got like the stationary cargo that you always see. I'm really happy with the overpass that I did. You may have seen in the time lapse that it was going to be a bridge, but then it was really far too steep to get up to the bridge level, so I faded it into this kind of nice. I did some terrain modification, sorry, and I faded it nicely upwards, and then, you know, that's not too steep now. It's still a little steep, but it's less noticeable because it looks like it's part of the earth. I think that I'm really proud of that bit. And then I made a little car park for all the workers who run the trains to stay. And what I might actually do is just quickly put in a little pathway to connect the two. People hopefully use that to get to the cargo stations. So yeah, quite happy with that. Alright, let's move on. What else what have I done? I don't think I've messed about with any of the other industry. I did mention that I had filled in some of the gaps. As you can see, there aren't really any gaps in between houses anymore. If the two major ones were here and here. So what I've just done is I've just added a public pathway and some fencing and lots of trees. It kind of goes into it. That's a bit of a glitch, but that's the house, I think. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, is there? No. So, you know, I'm just going to have to live with that. I put a little pavilion, nice connection from this street to this street. On this side, did something similar. You know, I got another path, got some hedges in. Put a little park on this side. I didn't want them to be identical, but I figured, you know, just that little extra level of detail. I don't want to go stingy on this, and you know, I might fill in something here in between this episode and the next. One major thing I did, which I actually really like, is I was having problems with garbage collection, and you may have seen me use this asset before. It's just like a little car parking space with like some bins. I love the asset because you can just put it down like in the middle of the city and it doesn't take up too much space and it doesn't cause too much pollution. It's a really good asset. So I was trying to think of a place to do it, so I created this back alley behind all the shops that is just like a little road. It's got quite a few of these. It's got like three of them down here. So that's gonna give good garbage collection actually to the industry area, and I really like the look of the back alley as well. I've kind of got like a digger who's just like doing some stuff down here, and it's all dirt, and you know, it's the kind of thing you expect to see like behind some shops. It's just like loads of cargo, loads of containers and stuff just like haphazardly thrown about. I did these aren't actual car parks. I just put down some concrete on the floor and then some floor decals so it looks like the cars can park there. But I'm really proud of how that turned out actually. And then in between the alleyway and the first residential, I extended the residential like 1 or 2 streets. I just put a line of trees to try and separate them a bit. Other than that, little touches here and there. You know, just put some rocks and trees in, put in a big sign. This side I didn't want to copy the alleyway, so this side is just residential instead of that. And yeah, so now on with today's episode, and as you can see, power outages. So that is gonna be what today's focus is. I did mention it last episode, I think, that I want to do a nuclear power plant as my main source of electricity. So I am going to be working on that today. Now, I want to do the nuclear power plant away from the city because, you know, in real life, if a nuclear power station was to go horribly wrong, you don't want it to be in the vicinity of all your citizens, do you? I'm trying to think the best place to put it. I was thinking either up here by the lake or down here in the forest. And I think down here in the forest is looking like the best option. It is going to mean I have to rework this junction. But I think I'll do that off camera. But I'm going to need... I want a straight line, and I'm going to make it a big avenue road. It kind of goes through. I'm not going to be able to do that, am I? Right, let's see how straight I can get this. Obviously, yeah, the junction is going to have to be changed. That's actually raised for some reason. I don't know why. No, I don't want you there. I want you flat. It's doing it again. What is going on? That's weird. Huh. I'll change that down to step 3. Delete all that. Oh, maybe that'll be why, because it went up to connect to the junction. But yeah, I'm gonna be deleting that, so might as well get rid. Then just connect this through. There we go. Rightio. Oh, I need to turn the prop anarchy off for now. And then if I delete this and then just re-put it down, then it should fix itself. Oh, it hasn't. Correct. It says, why does it still say on? I'm not actually sure what the... this happened before. I'll fix this later. I'll leave Anarchy on for now. Right. So yeah, I'm going to extend this all the way down here. Yeah, I do want it far away from the city, so... I think around... I'll put it in the middle of the forest, so... Put it there, and then maybe 3 on each side. Go down 3, and that'll be 6. There we go. In fact, I'm gonna flatten out the terrain a little bit because it does seem quite hilly. Terrain, that's the softener, isn't it? I don't want it to be, it doesn't have to be like perfectly flat. I'd like it to be relatively flat. Let's see how that goes and how that looks now. So 3. It's a bit better, not perfect. Well, that'll be fun. These trees are going to be really annoying. I'm just going to get rid of them all for now. And then I'll put them back in at a later time. Right, so the first thing I'm going to add to this area is a security checkpoint, which is just going to be, you know, a toll booth. But oh, maybe that's a one-way one. What do I want? I want one for each direction, really. In fact, no, I'll keep that, but I'm going to put it on this side instead. We'll know it's a bit off, but, you know, who cares? Smooth it a little. Again. Right, so the plan is to put that down the middle. Electricity, nuclear power. So this area is going to be like, I'm going to have to put like car parks and stuff in. Because you imagine a nuclear power plant does take quite a lot of workers, so. But what I'm going to do before I do that, actually, I'm going to just add in some things around it that, you know, aren't directly correlated with it, but kind of like fit in with what you expect to find in like a high industry area. So like that kind of looks like it would fit in. So I'll have a look at all my utility stuff, because they'll be the best kind of things for what you'd expect to see near here. So what's this? Oh, that's cool. Obviously you don't want that next to the recycling plant. Yeah, I'm just having a quick little look through to see what else there is. I quite like the silo, might be quite good actually. But I'd quite like that to be kind of like, what was it, is it in here? Like there instead? How does that look? Yeah, that looks quite good. I'm really not happy with how high this hill is, so let me move you over here for now. Delete this road. Let's quickly do this. Now that is all flat. And then if I just smooth this area around here. So the hill is still there, but obviously we can work down here without being affected by the terrain too much. So 3 was it? And then another 3. And then back there like so. Okay, that's better. We'll move you back here. In fact, I'll have you facing this way, so you're a bit longer. Now, one thing you're gonna want to need with a nuclear power plant is it's gonna want to have its own fire station. I think that's only logical, really. Actually, on one side, I am gonna do. Let's go around like this, and then all the services are going to be here. So you're going to want, you know, security. Make sure, you know, like that's like to stop terrorists and such. You're going to want your fire station, and then it's gonna. This is more so the city works a bit better. Also, this area is safer. It's just that, you know, it's got all the bases. It doesn't have. I'll tell you what. I'll put in a cemetery just because it doesn't look like it's death care too much. But we'll just slot this in. That's not gonna fit there. Just so that we do have everything covered. I don't want it right next to the power plant. It's a bit disrespectful, maybe. I'll put you there. I'll fill in this with some decorations and such. So I suppose on the other side, this will be where like all the car park is. So I'm gonna take you right to the corner of there, like that. In here, what else can I actually put in here? Let's see what I've got in parks and such. That's going to be, yeah, I'm going to use these parking lots. The nice big ones. Oh, those actually fit perfectly on there, so I might as well. Oh, that was silly. And there's the last one. So a huge parking lot, as you can see. Right, let's have a look at some of the parks that I can put in down here. I suppose I could put in like like the management car park, so you know it's a bit, so the upper classes can go there. Actually, maybe some offices in here. You know, to handle like the electrical management. I don't want to fill it all with that. Maybe if I do that, that might work. What else have I got that I could put in here? There doesn't seem to be much, does there? So maybe this is just going to be some more like beautification and such. A cargo train. A cargo hub, not a hub, sorry, but you know, a cargo line might be useful. In fact, yes, I think I'll put a cargo train station in, so that'll be on transport. In fact, I've got some cool harbour assets that I could maybe put in. Ah, maybe this would work. And that's the other side, isn't it? So I'll do this one. It's a little off. And I think actually that'd look better here. I need to actually, I'll make sure, right, I'll delete these, I'll make sure the train is completely flat on this side as well, so that we're not getting these weird levels that are coming up. So I want it to be that, I want it to be here. Like that. Put in these assets. I'm not sure that they're perfect. They're still a little bit off, but you know, that's better. Briefly soften the terrain. There we go. Ah, I think that works. I'll do another road going behind. In fact, that's probably better if I do it like that, so we don't get too many junctions. And then I'm just going to throw some more car parks behind it. Where's the good old one? There we are. Have to delete some of that. In fact, no, that looks a bit silly there. Maybe I can can I maybe fit it in the side? There we go. Yeah, there we go. I can see, yeah, obviously it's already got like car parks, but you know, there's might as well have another one. And then I'm gonna just put in a little pathway down here. Do you need any pathways over here? I'll put another one just down here. And then I need to put in some oh, this looks quite industry, so I'll put that on there. Let's have a look at some decorations for industry areas. This is similar to what I did in the pardon me, when I was building my cargo hub for the trains and stuff. So some containers. I might put a little, like, if I go back to the side, put some gravel down, and just, let's say it looks like I've got some work going on. if I put that there. Go back to this. Where's the digger? Then I think I have coal small. That'll fit in there nicely. It just adds a little something else. What other props do I have? I don't want park stuff down here, really. What about... we could put some of these in the road, like another security measure. Obviously the cars are just going to drive through them, but that's not too big a deal. Put some at the car park as well. Because obviously security is priority around here, so... Oh, I should probably put some fences as well, actually. Is that in my industry? There. Put the prop on. Now, where do I actually want the fences? Maybe covering like the entire compound. I think that is probably for the best. Probably about 90. It's not gonna be perfect, obviously, because of how far apart they are, and you can't actually get snapping for this prop tool. So I'm just trying to eyeball it best I can. And what I'll do is, because what would make sense is for the trees to oh, I need to go back on that. Oh dear, that's too big. Is for there not to be too many trees like around the security fence. So kind of like, just so that, you know, the guards can actually see any criminals on the approach to the actual perimeter fence. But then we can put some trees inside again. Like, it doesn't have to be like completely bland. Although there'll probably be like mutant trees. But there's a bit too much there. Put the strands down a little. Oh dear, I didn't really do much, did it? That's better. Just do single clicks. Yeah, just give it that little extra something. What else can we put in here? Let's have a look at our props again. We're going to the parks. A few trailers. I'll put some in the car parks, so it doesn't look like they're always empty. These are probably quite big actually, quite small even, so I don't really, not too fussed about them. I suppose I can just put some rocks down. What about a big billboard? Is that a normal billboard? I want a big square billboard, not none of this like, because these are all like shops. What about these? Random large billboard. Because I don't like leaving blank spaces, so I'm doing my best to fill in as much as possible. Random large billboard 4. There we go. What I might actually do is, yeah, this is the, like, some offices going down here. Oh, I probably need to get rid of that then. If I just put in like a shop on this corner, for the workers to like have a canteen or like a little shop to run out to if they need anything. That might be a nice idea. Anything else? What about residential props? A snowman. Don't think I'm going to get anything in there that I particularly want. So maybe if I just like... oh, what about some stuff here? Fallen tree or two? Not a bit boring. Rock formations, not too fussed about that. I'll tell you what, I'll put like an abandoned factory down. This can be like the old... oh no, that'd just be unsafe, I suppose, wouldn't it? For it is a very grand factory, actually. If I put it like there, it's like the talisman. I don't know, because I really like the look of that. Actually, that looks really cool. How does it look from right here? No, it doesn't. It just wouldn't exist there, would it? Right. I actually need to connect the electricity up to the main city. So where's best to do that? I normally like put them again like alongside roads and stuff. For now, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna get back to it because the motorway is gonna like cut into that. So if I just put this down here, will you fit on the same line, or do I have to? In fact, from here on, I will just put the underground ones. And I'll better put one here as well. Right, let's fast forward that. Oh, city happy? City's happy? That is connected. Ah, nuclear power plant's not happy though. Let's put some pipes down. There's always something I forget to do. It would never be an episode where everything went right. I'd be worried if it ever did. Let me just put this one here. And then I might as well put this one here as well. Right, we'll see how those offices come through, see if they suit the aesthetic at all. Oh, they kind of do. They're not incredible. But yeah, there's our power plant. So that is going to provide the city. We should be on loads of electricity now. Yeah, we've got such a surplus. So that's really good. And no one's actually come down this road yet. Was that what is that? A bear? You don't see many bears in the UK anymore. So that's interesting. These trees are going to annoy me, so I'm just going to quickly get rid of them. Or down this road here. There we go. And then... it's not actually connected. Oh, there's loads of them in the way. This is the problem with the prop anarchy thing. Is that this keeps happening. It's really quite irritating. Will you fit onto there? So if I can, right, if I do that for now, I'll fix this all off camera. Will you? Oh no, why aren't you gonna fit on there? And then at least for now, temporarily, there is a way to get to the nuclear plant, so people can actually start working there. Oh, that's all the services that are coming out of it. Right, so there we go. I might tinker with it a little bit after the episode finishes. It's not looking perfect. I'll definitely probably change it a little bit. But this episode is starting to run on a little, so I will leave it there for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, and if you enjoy, or if you are enjoying this series, or you think you will, or you're enjoying any of my other series, don't hit the subscribe. Well, do hit the subscribe button. I was gonna say don't be scared to hit the subscribe button, and then it ended up telling you not to subscribe, which is kind of stupid. Yeah, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see anything in particular, don't feel free to comment and let me know your suggestions. People have done that in the past, and I've taken that on board and done the things that they requested. If they're stupid ideas, I probably won't do them, but if they're good ideas, I will try my best to find some way to incorporate them. But yeah, that's it for today. I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.